I went ahead and got some audio equipment to improve the audio quality. That was the main thing I was getting a lot of complaints about. So I have some dedicated audio equipment I'm using now, and I hope it improves the audio quality. Everybody can hear me a lot better. And I'm going to start this off with, I never wanted an LG OLED TV or Sony OLED TV. I went to the Best Buy and I had to go see the S95B Samsung TV, the OLED, the new one that just came out, and it is ridiculous. So this TV is like, it truly is what we always imagined, like having your phone screen blown up 10 times bigger. The colors, everything is just amazing. When they first announced the OLED TVs and I went to go see them, something about them always bothered me. Like, I would look at them and I would say, oh, well, that looks nice. I really like the blacks. But it has this like greenish bluish hue, and it's just like always there. With the whites are never like white. So I always noticed that. And then all the stuff about it can't get but so bright, and it can't, like, you have to worry about burn-in possibility. What I think those TVs were POLED TVs, which is a type of OLED that LG was using on their phones too. And I think that P stands for plastic. So it might have something to do with the reason why it can't get but so hot. And of course, there's the other thing about how it kind of filters colors through before you get to see it, and it makes all the colors a little bit more pale, especially the reds, because all the light is actually blue. So it has to kind of change into red. And that's why the reds always look, I think the reds look, or most of the LG OLEDs look inferior to reds on like a LED TV. But anyway, I went to see the S95B and it's incredible. The colors are just so next level. It has the same blacks as the other OLEDs. It's bright. It's like almost as bright as a top tier bright, but it's not quite that bright as a top tier LED TV bright, but it's bright enough considering how deep the blacks are. It looks so ridiculous. So when I went to go see it, I got an idea about this year. So this year is pretty rocking as far as like the TVs that are out right now. There's so many really cool options. It's like really cool. So I just came up with this idea about doing like a chart of like how all the different TVs relate to each other and like which ones are really good. As you guys probably already know, I got the Hisense U8G TV as my new TV for a while, and I'm really happy with it, especially considering the price. The price is just ridiculous. So I'm definitely going to be keeping that TV. But this, like I said, this year has been really cool and unique to the next level. So I went ahead and put together this cool chart that kind of like shows ranking them into different tiers, shows what the prices are, and kind of like organize things to help you like pick out the right TV for what your budget wants if you are looking for a high-end TV right now. So I'm gonna pull this out and I hope you like it. Okay, here we go. So you probably might be able to tell through the chart a little bit about what I'm thinking here, but I'll just go ahead and do this. So like I said, mentioned earlier, I went and saw the S95B and it's ridiculous. So these what do they call them, quantum dot OLEDs are definitely next level. So they go in their own category for tech of the future. So they pretty much have everything right. They have amazing color, they have, you know, really good contrast. They're bright. They're almost as bright as like a mid-tier type LED TV, but they have the ridiculously deep blacks, colors like you've never seen. They really do have color. Like the reds and stuff that I saw are way better. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that. They're noticeably better than the best LED reds. So I'm also gonna put the A95K that's coming from Sony. Of course, the pricing is not out for that just yet, so we don't know what it's going to cost, but it's probably going to be more than Samsung based on what usually happens. because they're known for fine tuning a little bit more, but also they have some trouble with, they don't always keep up with features. So I don't personally think their stuff should be priced way higher than Samsung. I think a lot of times it doesn't make sense. But anyway, next would be the Vibrant and Ultra Bright. So these are LED TVs. Samsung's pretty much makes the best LED TV right now. The Q90A or B, they're both, I think overall, that's why I have them kind of together. They're kind of similar to each other. So if you want like a Q90, just go with, if you can find it for a good price, just go with that. They're both really good, really bright, really great color. They have special, viewing angle technology to kind of make up for being LED. But they're amazing TVs. This TV right here, the one I have right now, is very similar to a Q90A/B. It gets very bright, very colorful. It's quantum dot. It has all the features like VRR, 4K, 120 hertz, all that good stuff. But it's really very, very affordable. So definitely highly recommend it. So I don't know if you guys already probably noticed this a long time ago now, but organized. If it has like regular price colors, that means just like what you expect the price to be. But if I put it in red, the color is just like, that means it's like really good value for what it is, at least based on what's going on in the United States, I think. So, and if it's blue, that's kind of blue for cold, which means not such a great deal. So that's what I was thinking anyway. Okay, so next are gonna be what I call the white OLEDs. And I just feel like they're all the same, to be honest. Like, they have like small differences. You can really get that when you look at how the LG OLEDs are. They have the B series, the C series, the G series, but they're like very, very small differences between them. Same thing with the Sonys. Sonys are supposed to be a little bit better, but I don't think there's not that much difference. So if you don't mind having a TV that's not super bright and you just want really good blacks, they're really good choices. But they definitely don't have like the full color volume as a quantum dot OLED. The one I saw, I went and I saw it, I was like, this is what I always wanted from an OLED. I wanted it to be what I see on my little phone, my Samsung phone, but big. And it really lives up to that. Whenever I saw the LG OLEDs, I always felt like they weren't the same as my phone. They had that limited, the whites were always kind of blue and bluish green, and the reds never really popped. But they're good TVs. I mean, they're super slim, really good blacks. I would say they're like a little like in this area for in brightness, but they're fine. And then so the next area, these are really good TVs for specific things. So like, if you want a TV with perfect viewing angles, this one is really great. These are the next things underneath the QN90 TVs. They're super, super bright. They have IPS panels, which means that they have really, really good viewing angles. They just don't have like that popping black that you get from a VA or OLED. Some people, I mean, my monitor is IPS, is really accurate for color. Like I said, it's really good for looking at different angles, and it can get very, very bright, but the blacks won't always look like if you watch a lot of dark movies, you'll notice that it's not always the best choice. But it can be really, really good, and if you can find it for a really good price, these are actually a really good price right now. You can get a 55-inch for almost exactly $1,000. That's not bad. They have really good process. This is not like a lower tier type deal. It's a top tier TV. So that one's good. If you want to, be a little bit more diverse, you can get the LG version of this. So this is LG's super They have a quantum dot IPS monitor, and this is like they put a lot into their processing and everything. So Samsung's QN85A is $1350 right now in the United States. The LG one is $1400, which is like $50 more. There's not really a reason to get the LG over the Samsung, to be honest, but if you like LG, you can get that one, and it's pretty close to the QN85B. It just doesn't get quite as bright, but it's pretty cool. Next one is the X90 series by Sony. So a lot of people like to throw this one around as like really top tier stuff. I personally think it's nice, but I've had, like I said, I've had before. I've had a Sony top tier Sony TV. I had the X900E TV, which came out like in 2018, 2017, and I've been hearing that it hasn't really changed that much. The blooming is just it's a thing. Like the way they do their local dimming, it doesn't, like if you watch things with subtitles, you will definitely notice the blooming. It hits the mark in most areas. Like it's really good with color, pretty decent contrast. They don't tend to get as bright as Samsung TVs, but they're fine, and they don't have like the viewing angle coating that the QN90 and Q85 have, but they're good. They're like, that's why I put them here. They're like, they'll satisfy you, but they're not gonna wow you like the ones I put in A class. Next would be, if you want a really good 8K TV, so they have this one here, the Samsung QN900A, and it's very expensive. So if you just really want to have 8K for some reason, this is it. This is the one to get, like pretty much the best one to get. And it starts at 65 inch. I only did 65 and 55 inch because that's like what most people get, but there's 75 inch versions of most of these TVs too. And I was just trying to keep like simple since I was trying to help with pricing too. Well, what's that? Okay. Let's see. Scaling. Oh, so that would be the TLC TVs. So I haven't forgotten about them. They kind of compete very closely with Hisense TVs. They're here. I went and saw them in person, and I just felt like the color wasn't as popping as the Hisense TV, so I didn't go with that. I went with Hisense instead. But they're supposed to be really good with like the blacks and the contrast and things. They're supposed to be really good with contrast and local dimming. And I mean, when I saw it, it was like, it's okay. But they're very affordable. So you can get the 55 inch one for the same as you can get the U8G. So it's a really good value, and it's supposed to be a mini LED TV, whereas the U8G is just like, it's direct backlit, so it's not a mini LED TV. It just has really good local dimming and really good brightness. But I personally prefer the U8G. I have one, so I know it works really well. But this one's supposed to be really good too. Alright, next section. So these are TVs that are like, they're good. They're not gonna wow you. But if you see them on sale or something like that, and you want, like, say you're getting something for like someone who's not as into TVs, like say your parents, or someone who just like want to get you need a TV in a certain place in your house or something like that, definitely look at them, because they are good TVs. They're just not gonna wow you. Like, they're not the TV that you gather everybody to watch the movie. And they're like, well, you could do that, but they're just not as cool as the other TVs. They're not like amazing, but they're good. So this is the Q80 from Samsung. It's an IPS display, so it has really, really good viewing angles. It gets pretty bright, but it doesn't have the pop of a VA TV, which are like the Q90s, the U8G, and the X90 TVs. So they are IPS displays. They have really good viewing angles. They get very bright. It has really good color. It's just like, it's like a slightly lower level version of the QN85A. It's a really good TV, and it's a little bit cheaper. So if you want, like I was saying before, if you want something that's good but you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, look at these TVs, especially if viewing angles matter a lot to you. Next is the X85 from Sony. So what's cool about this TV is it's a VA panel. Most of them, almost all of them, are VAs, and the prices are really good. They're about the same prices as the U8G. They don't have local dimming, but they just have very good contrast in general. Like the processing and everything is just really well done. It has really good color, really good processing. It doesn't have local dimming, and it's not as bright as like the B and A class TVs, but it's also a really good value, so give it a look. And then the last section would be if you want a 8K TV at a good price. This one here, the TLC R648, is $1,000 less than the Samsung QN900A, so it's definitely a good value, whereas this is overpriced. So it's either with 8K, you either pay a lot or you pay a very reasonable price. But I don't think it's going to be as good as the Samsung. So this is it. This is my look at what TVs are out. I've been paying a lot of attention to TVs lately, and I've just been following technology for a very long time in general. So I think this chart could be really helpful to someone who's looking to buy a new TV.